A 26-year-old American woman was allegedly fatally shot in the head by Israeli forces in the West Bank earlier today. This is Aysenur Ezgi, who is also a Turkish citizen. So she is reported to have been participating in a protest against Jewish settlement expansion in the town of Beita. Beita is next to a settler outpost named Evyatar, which was unauthorized by the Israeli state until it was finally legalized earlier this year. John Oliver actually did a great episode on how some of these that have been protested against and weren't even authorized eventually just are. The Israeli government's just like, okay, you weren't supposed to be there for years and years, but I guess we're good with it now. In any event, she had been involved in a campaign to protect farmers from Israeli settler violence. And here is another one of the demonstrators from that protest recounting what happened.
Stand with solidarity with the people of Beita against the expropriation of the lands of the mountain called Jabal Sabih in order to build a colony on it, the colony of Evyatar. We came here and peaceful demonstrations was violently oppressed by tear gas, by live ammunition, and in other means. At some point, we heard gunfire. We looked to the back and we saw that Ayla is shot in the head. She wasn't responding, and an ambulance came and evacuated her to Rafidia Hospital in Nablus.
And so here is the statement from the IDF. They admit that they fired live ammunition at the demonstrators. They said today during Israeli security forces activity adjacent to the area of Beita, the forces responded with fire toward a main instigator of violent activity who hurled rocks at the forces and posed a threat to them. Posed a threat to one of the most capable militaries in the world because they had rocks. And so obviously you had to shoot a young unarmed woman in the head. They say they're looking into reports that a foreign national was killed. It's all hypothetical at this point. And so they're gonna review it, everybody. And I don't know about you watching this, but I'm on the edge of my seat for this review. Maybe there will be a report. That will be really exciting. Now, I also just want to mention some added context here. So absolute tragedy that Aysenur was killed in that way. There was another protester who I saw in a separate video that said that over the last 3 years, I believe the number cited was there were 13 protesters that were shot dead by the IDF at these sorts of protests. They were all Palestinian. And I think it's awesome that this particular instance is making international news. She's an American, and so that makes it a thing that people will pay attention to. But it's not like this is the first time the IDF didn't like that a rock was being thrown and shot someone in the head who was just protesting. It happens on a very regular basis.
By the way, there's good, wonderful Israeli citizens at that protest too.
Yeah.
Somehow they didn't get shot, but I'm sure they were just firing at the guys who threw rocks, if any such guys actually existed. Look, guys, I know for Israeli supporters, like, oh, somebody threw a feather at you, of course you killed them, right? That's not even close. But if I was in the IDF or any military and I'm in full armor and some kid or guy throws a rock at me, I would not murder them. I know for a lot of people that's like, oh, that's outrageous. And a rock, that could hurt you. So of course you shoot him in the head and murder him. Of course you do that. I don't find that an of course at all. In fact, I think you're deeply immoral if you do that. But this is not firing at the person throwing a rock. If any such person existed, the IDF almost always lies, okay? They just fired into the crowd. Or they shot her on purpose. They're like, oh, not the Israelis. Whoever's a dirty Muslim, shoot him in the head. And they shot her in the head. Now in this case, it was inconvenient for the Israelis because if you murder a normal Palestinian Muslim, no one cares. You just become a statistic. But in this case, it's an American citizen. So they're like, oh, this one was unfortunate. We were in grave danger because rocks were kind of thrown maybe at us from what distance? Were they right next to the IDF? My guess is that they were very far from the IDF. The chance of those so-called rocks being life-threatening, come on. Even if you're the most diehard Israeli supporter there is, you don't believe that. You just think they should be able to murder any protester they like. Be honest with yourself for once. And I'm not talking about all Israeli citizens. I just told you that there were Israelis at the protest saying, for God's sake, we gotta stop, right? But if you're one of these zealots who are like, yeah, oh, you throw anything, oh, IDF has the right to murder you under any circumstance. And if you say, oh, I object to the term murder. So in Gaza, they made over 30,000, even taking the IDF numbers on how many Hamas was in Gaza that they killed, even if you give them the benefit of the doubt, which you never should. You also shouldn't give it to Hamas, by the way. Over 30,000 times they accidentally killed someone. The worst, most incompetent military in the history of the world. Oops, here goes another 8,000 people I accidentally killed. Sure, you tell yourself any pretty little lie, but they just murdered an American citizen. And I got news for you. They're definitely going to get away with it. America, in stern response to this, will send them several more $1 billion. 100%. Mondale.
Yeah, I think this is absolutely. I think this is it's the tearing, the stair stepping of life. Because, like you said, we've almost lost more people in Gaza than all of American people who died during the Vietnam War, and Gaza is nowhere near the size of the United States. It is tragic that we allow Israel to get away with what they're getting away with under Benjamin Netanyahu's government, and it's not just a new thing. I mean, like, they've literally been taking land for 50 plus years, and it's as at their discretion what they and how much they're going to take. 86% of East Jerusalem right now is under Israeli control for Israelis. It is absolutely crazy that there's 750,000 people, Jewish people, living on private land that belong to Palestinians. Less than 50 years, 5 years before I was born, damn near all of that land was Palestinians, and yet a government that is not Palestinian, of Palestinians, or looking out for Palestinians, allow for their citizens to come take this land. Anywhere else, the rest of the world will be screaming. Actually, I think we're supporting Ukraine for Russia doing the exact same damn thing to them. So it is absolutely disgusting that you see an American protesting the atrocities that is Israeli's government right now. And as you said, the only punishment will be one person will not be on the tanks next week, but he'll be back in the military probably a month from now.
Yeah, their kangaroo court for the IDF military courts acquits 99% of the time. Oh, you shot her right in the head. Oh, and it looks like you totally intended it, if that's the case. Not guilty. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Let me do this right. Was she Muslim? She was. Not guilty. Okay, so keep it real. America's not going to do anything but send them a thank you check for murdering a US citizen. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.